Yeah, I'm just gonna play Ragavan. It's mono red. It's kind of at a disadvantage in Historic Brawl at this point. You don't really see a lot of aggro in Historic Brawl. Um, Last time I played this, it was all ones and twos, and I didn't really have any threes. But with stuff like Ancient Tomb, Mox, and Gemstone, it's a little bit better. I don't think Den. I can't remember. It's been over a year since I played this, but I don't know if Den ever got in there. It's probably okay. Though a lot of the deck is two. There's been quite a few solid red cards since last I played this, though. But that doesn't seem to be enough to ever get this kind of commander to show up a lot in Historic Brawl. And I don't really. It doesn't surprise me because the aggro style in this format is just fast mana, right? That is your quote unquote aggro thing you do, aggressively ramp violently, if you will. So I don't know, we'll see. But I had a bunch of combat tricks in here last time, and I don't think those are doing anything right now. Blood Moon might not either, because green is everywhere and green doesn't care. But we'll see. We shall see. Whoa, that's a Zakama. All right, we're playing 2020 Brawl right now. I like it as much as I do. They are on the play though. It's kind of tragic. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can shove aside a lot of the things, but I can't shove aside all of the things because exploration exists now and stuff. Alright, what's the damage? Alright, there's no damage. We just didn't get hosed. Turn 1, look at that. I didn't get hosed turn 2. Alright, things are getting weird. Eidolon, get some damage in there. If you get lost hit, you take damage? No, nothing. Okay, well, my opponent did nothing for 2 turns. I would say consistently that is not something you see ever in this format. Like, ever, 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 ever. I want more damage here. There's not many reasons to play land first. So. Enthusiast, you can loot away Shove Aside? Thud. Well, let's loot away some of these lands. My life total doesn't matter. Whoa, okay. Well, definitely looted away some lands. Alright, I made a lot of game actions. Took a lot of damage. Stupid. Just ignore you, ignore you, ignore you, rant, rant, rant. Ignore you, ignore you, ignore you, rant, rant, rant. So, I think I'm going to play this. I'd rather not get rid of Thud. Might have to, though. Full stop. Yeah, I think I just full stop have to. Oh, wait. Hold on. I can potentially find a different card. Okay. I don't have to get rid of Thud anymore. And swing. Level this thing up. Okay, well, I have damage. And then I'm probably dead next turn. Okay, why not? Ignores you, ignores you, ignores you, ignores you. Sweeper. This thing. I guess I just swing. And then they gain infinite life because the comma's dumb. Fun. Alright, ignores you, ignores you, ignores you, ignores you. Ramp, 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 ramp. You lose. Well. We have the mana rock? We don't have the mana rock. Wow. Wow. They must have drawn the mana rock just now. Oh, another answer. Excellent. Well, I can't draw 2 cards that deal with this. Gemstone, too late, as is tradition. Alright, you're up, I guess. Double strike doesn't really do much, but it's better than any other thing I can do. But it doesn't really get me anywhere in the long run of things here. I'm not sure why they just did that. I don't understand. Okay, also not sure why they did that. I don't understand. Yeah. Oops. Oops, indeed. Another fling. Arcanus does not have any spells, but I do have Thud. I guess damage is slightly better. No, I'm just playing this. We're just playing this card. They're at that life total, so that's fine. That doesn't save them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you might as well swing. Yeah, I can't block anyways. 4, 5. Plus 5. Alright, we got there. My opponent decided to block with their commander, and it cost them 0. Alright, look at that. Also, no 1 into 3. That's surprising. The second green player today, no 1 into 3. The second green player today with no 1 or 2 mana card. Wow. I don't have a lot of faith in Wintermoon, so I will just get rid of it. I think that's the right thing to do. Sure. Let's play... I'm not sure if I'm supposed to care about Azusa. Opponent doesn't have a ton of cards in their hand, so I probably just shouldn't. Like, if they put counters on it, like, cool, I guess. That would imply that you have a bunch of lands in your hand. Huh. Wintermoon would have kind of done something, funny enough. Palantir. Alright, well that's a thing. I think I have to let that... I think I have to abrade that. Yeah, we have to abrade that. So we will. Yeah, I think I have to abrade Palantir. It's probably a good idea too. And then swing with both my cards. Correct. There's no good blocks. I was thinking about it. I think you should block, right? Like, why not? Yeah. Alright. What do I need in the graveyard? Land, enchantment, sorcery. All face? No, we do this. They do take 5. Okay. Well. Mono green not caring about anything, as is tradition. And the game is over. That was fun. Well, there will be no Rafellos. This game, at least. I got nothing to do. Would have liked a 2-drop. The 4th land is fine, though. It is blatantly obvious that I have an answer to Rafellos, so they don't really have a reason to ever cast it. I will just kill this token. I guess I'll do it with the Tempt 1-ring card. I don't think tempting the 1-ring matters here. They actually just simply cast it. Wow. Interesting. There's no way you're playing a protection spell in this... What? Okay. Why? Why are you doing that? And Rafellos? Rafellos with a protection spell is insane to me. Seems way too all in on that card. I mean, you're just mono green. You don't even need this. Just played like good cards instead. Like imagine this was Rampant Growth or Llanowar. You'd just be fine. Alright, let's play this. Swing. I can't imagine Lightning Axe doing anything, so... Burst of Adrenaline. I thought I took this out. Or Rush of it. I thought I took that out. I filtered by instance. I don't know how this slipped through. Alright, well we have our commander. And then maybe stuff. Does that change anything? There, double strike 6. No, not quite. Does this give trample? Do I even want to get rid of this? Yeah, I do. Okay, let's put it on Hazoret. Okay. Yep, mono green, fun. This is unplayable. That's the take. I'm literally losing to green decks that are like waiting turns to like and doing nothing. I'm answering Rafellos and it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm always amped Raptoring, even in the face of this Sentinel. Gift a treasure. That seems really stupid, doesn't it? Alright, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. Damage. Damage is damage, we're taking it. I'm gonna play Grim Lavamancer. I do like the other cards here a lot, though. It's hard. Yeah, I'm gonna play it because it is a way to kill their commander, so they don't just untap and laugh in my face while they kill me. So it's just a way to kill it, which I just need. But playing both of these would be nice. That actually has a target. Funny enough. I'm sure you know what this is, opponent. You're playing Oswald. There you go. Did you do it? You didn't do it. Okay. That can go away to fear. Okay. Oswald doesn't have haste. We can play this card. And we can swing for 3. We gotta be careful about drawing symmetrical here. It's not free. Paradox Engine's not in play, so I feel good about stuff. As good as I can, I guess. They played that in the face of the Lavamancer. Do we now equip the Iron Crag? It actually saves your commander. Seems like something you'd want to do. I guess not. I'm gonna just lead on that. Yeah, we're just gonna instantly lead on this here without thinking about anything. Let's slow down. We actually do have to think about something. Get rid of those 2 for Delirium. Shove-Aside's a sorcery. Okay, never punished. Let's play Needle. And hold the land till post-combat. So now there can't be like a card draw based combo. Felia, what does that do here? What does that do? Doesn't change combat. Actually, they don't even use it. Okay. Interesting. I will shove aside it, so I don't lose to it, though, in some weird way. Also, it would flicker this, and I'd actually lose the shove aside, which is really funny. Alright, so Razorkin stops card draw based combo nonsense. There's only 3 cards, and there's no Oswald. So, yeah. Alright, we just had Oswald taken care of, and there was no wall of protection, which I don't really expect. This deck doesn't have to have Oswald to do some kind of Asura Rack combo thing. But without drawing cards, it could be hard to win. Actually, I don't really know what the combo is if it doesn't involve, like, some kind of one-ring thing. And this has first strike, so they can't trade efficiently. And we actually have Hazoret next turn as well. I'm still never using this on anything but Oswald, unless it's lethal. That also would be a reason to do it. Okay. I can't even remember my question. Oh, my question was how do they win? What's the combo if it doesn't involve drawing cards? I think that was the question. I can't remember. I think that was exactly the question, yeah. How do they win without drawing cards? Like, what's a non-card draw combo? Alright. Tiny Bones is cool. Do you play Tiny Bones? You do. Alright. Tiny Bones is dead. It is dead. My opponent will not have Tiny Bones this game, but on the contrary, I won't have much this game either. Works out. Oh, sure. I'll just cast my spells. Anything that gets me closer to actually casting Hazoret is a thing I'll do. Sure. Fine. Interesting. Oh no! My land. Well, wait. Dealt damage. No, we just cast this. Cast it and send it. Damage is in there. We need a land. Opponent, I need you to calm down with the removal. Land? Alright, we're in there. Let's go. Please, no edict. Come on. Once, for once ever, please. No edict. Please. I'll take a Toxic Deluge, though. Okay, Strangle. Do they think they're gonna block? Probably not. Yeah, we'll just kill Tiny Bones. So it doesn't generate infinite blockers out of my graveyard with, like, creatures and stuff, so. And then the next card I discard is lethal. Okay, it's not quite lethal anymore. It's one off. Unless I draw a land, then I think Den of the Bugbear is lethal. Which is funny. Oh, they can also block with something. I suppose that is a thing that could happen. Oh. Okay, no such luck. Alright. Got him. Look at that. Den got there. Discarding the land, or discarding the card I find, gives my opponent another turn. So, it would... Is there any card that would be lethal here? Still, someone saying good game a little early there. Alright, I've seen Zephyr 1,000 times. I don't think they always play Slimefoot, though. Alright, Ragavan. Do something dumb. Okay, well, there you go. That's why I don't play this card. Can't make YouTube content with a turn 1 Ragavan. So stupid. Oh, even in 2025 it happens sometimes. I don't even know what this is. Whenever sap comes... Okay, yeah. Sure. It's mono green, so this could basically not exist, and I feel I will have the same experience. Hey, we drew Rabblemaster. Alright, we're gonna play this because Inti likes this card. And so too does our thing. I keep calling this Okiba, that's the black one. I'm gonna name God, I guess. Oh, excuse me. We're gonna get rid of Faithless Looting. Alright, look at that. This was the 3rd or 4th mono green player that didn't do anything for 2 turns. But this is the first time we actually beat it. Oh, and it was a brony. Oh, nice. We got the double whammy. Love it. I'm being, like, the problem with... Whoops. I didn't mean to click that. I just didn't want to face my deck. But no. The problem with this is the thing... I mean, I said it in the intro, the playing the deck, is the mana decks are basically aggro decks. It's just their aggression is in the form of mana, and that's more aggressive than you are, so you can't do anything. You will get those games where you go like 1 into 2 into 3 hyper giga blitz and have it matter, but most of the time it doesn't. And it's green everywhere, right? The ramp stuff. And then even the colorless deck. We saw Eugene, where it just doesn't care at all. In fact, I would argue of all the cards, like the strategies in the game, probably that one is the most, like, ignores you, even more so than green, because it kind of has to. It doesn't do anything else. And Eugene is faster than you are. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Eugene is faster. The only way to make it so that is not the case is if you spam, like, abrade effects in your deck and hose them out of casting anything. But then you have those to cast instead of actual damage that you're pushing face. Just doesn't matter. I mean, I got kind of close in the Ujin game, and then they just decided that 2 mana dorks, they had both the Mirror and the Ornithopter, were the last 2 cards that came with Vindicates because of Ujin, and then they could just block. So, you know, God forbid I get through against Ujin. The new cards, since the past year and a half since I played this last, have not at all done enough for this kind of strategy to keep up. The 2 mana Hazoret I do see sometimes, and I guess it can kind of get there with the speed thing or whatever. I don't know. Like, you have to... It's the same issues. It has the same issues. A lot of the cards are the same. It's going to have the same problems. Probably way more 1 mana threats, though, probably, in that list. I can kind of see why I only had 1 and 2 mana cards in this initial... Like, the deck I uploaded was the old one, and it had basically no 3 mana cards at all, and Ancient Tomb doesn't seem to justify a lot of the 3-mana things. Like Blood Moon didn't end up working out as well or anything. So probably going back to 1 and 2 mana spam would just be better. You still have to get your 4th mana source anyways for Hazoret, so I think a few 3s are just okay. I don't like the impulse draws. They give you more things to do, but you do those things way slower, and they don't guarantee you do anything at all. Like, what is it? Mishra's Workshop or the other sword that exiles the top card, and then you can play it, and then later you can exile it again and play the top card again. So it, it's card advantage, but that card itself, the Workshop, the desk, don't really get you there. Like, that card itself doesn't do damage or anything. It just finds cards later, and it makes your hand smaller, but you still kind of would really like the card that you exiled to be castable and have something to do with those cards, as opposed to like, oh, I just dumped my hand to then sometimes swing with this thing, right? And then also have cards in your hand to even discard at some point, which I don't think I ever actually discarded a single card to Hazoret, which is crazy. Yeah, I don't think there was a single time Hazoret discard, because last time I played it, I know I used the ability at least a couple times. I don't think I did once. The problem is all of the cards that you play in your hand and stuff, like, you have to have every card you have access to be like really impactful, way more so than a year and a half ago, and it's hard to just turn really anything into this just like a shock to the face. It's just hard to just simply do that as the card you drew, on top of Hazoret swinging. There's also things like Scute Swarm. I mean, that's just green again. It doesn't matter what green does, you just lose. But let's say Scute Swarm is in play. This doesn't exactly have trample. Even if it does have trample, there's plenty of things that don't even care about that. The list I uploaded had a bunch of trample combat tricks, and I'm wondering why I was running those. I guess at the time they made sense. I don't think they make sense now. Maybe my understanding of the format is obviously following what the format is doing, so I just don't think they're good now. Giving this trample doesn't change anything fundamentally. There are some situations where I guess it can, but most of the time, no. Same with Fling and Thud. We're in here, and they just kind of get in the way. It's weird to fling this. You could just like pay 3 to discard the Fling, but sometimes the extra 3 damage Fling provides, as opposed to just being discarded to the 2 damage ability, so it only effectively is only 3 additional damage. It's not just 5 damage flat. It's like, sometimes it's not even a good idea. If they're not at a good break point, you can't even do it anyways. The Flings just get in the way early, because they're not cards that interact with your opponent's 500 Llanowar Elves, or whatever. Especially if you have to sack your own creature. That seems antithetical to killing your opponent as an aggro deck. Especially mono red, where you don't have, like, you can't stumble, right? If you stumble for a nanosecond, it's over. And some of the time, even when I had the sweatiest of openers, it still doesn't matter, because they just ramp faster. I didn't actually expect to lose against green decks that didn't do things for 2 turns. Normally, that doesn't happen anyways. In fact, I would say you always mulligan if you don't have a 1 or 2 mana play in Historic Brawl. And it is actually nuts. It's completely insane that all but one of our opponents that did that, where they did nothing for 2 turns. I mean, stone cold nothing. They just played a land and did nothing. Green players doing nothing for 2 turns, and I still lost. That is your opponent in effectively stumbling. That's the equivalent of stumbling heavy in this format, where there's Mana Drain and Stark Rituals and all that stuff, where if the first thing you do is a 3-drop, if you expect that to win consistently, it's obviously not going to. Even with like Cavern naming the Rofellos that you play on turn 3 and didn't play turn 2 for some reason. Like, that's not a consistent way to win in this format. It just isn't, right? There's Dark Rituals all over the place, and all the other crazy mythics, and some of them aren't even mythics. So it's just really embarrassing that you would get trampled by your opponent doing nothing for 2 turns, and then they proceed to not even do a pivot into anything scary. I think the first opponent we played was Zakama. I think it was Zakama was the first opponent, and I don't think it did anything for the first 2 turns. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look. But it then proceeded to only cast ramp spells. So, like, did nothing for 2 turns into ramp spells. There's not a lot of draws, I feel, in this kind of situation, which you could say is a problem with the deck, I guess. You know, that's fair. It's not like this is 100% perfect or anything. But that just kind of... that's like a damning situation here, right? Like, they do nothing for 2 turns and then proceed to ignore me and cast ramp spells turn 3 onwards into Zakama and win. And I can't kill them at 25? Like, that seems just insane. Like, there's a huge problem here. If you could always have an Ancient Tomb and just do the thing Legacy loves to do, which is like, you know, mountain, double mana, 3-drop spam, it's probably good enough. But you just can't do that, right? In that exact game, if I had Ancient Tomb, I wonder if I had any of the good 3-drops. Also, Blood Moon, funny enough, wouldn't have done anything against them either, because all they did was play basic lands. Because why play dual-colored anything when you're playing 55 explosive vegetations? So yeah, this just isn't good enough. There's probably another mono-red commander that could maybe sort of do something. I saw Annex in the Artisan Brawl a lot, so I'll try it here. Never got to cast it, though. But yeah, maybe there's like this situation where you're all in on 1 and 2 mana creatures and barely any spells, and you just keep playing them. But then at that point, you're just, in my opinion, a weaker version of Delny, or some other kind of thing that's doing something similar to Delny. It's kind of insanely damning that Heir Apparent stonewalls you, right? Like, you shouldn't just lose to Heir Apparent, and if you're getting stonewalled by Heir Apparent, then you have some crazy issues, right? There are some major issues here. If you just have to burn spell every rabbit, like, you're just SpaghettiOs. I guess that's kind of a game where trample would matter here, but again, not really, because eventually they're gonna have so many rabbits, you can just chump block this. Oh, wait, hold on. Is that true? Yes. Yeah, okay. Maybe was it the other one? One of them, I think, changes how blocking works or something. Yeah, it's like, oh, it can't be blocked by whatever. But yeah, this can be spam blocked, and trying to circumvent that gets in the way of trying to do anything else that helps you get to the point where trample matters. Because trampling with this doesn't matter until you're already at the point where it's swinging, which means the trample enabler thing has to be like one of the last few cards in your hand for this to swing in the first place. And even with Heir Apparent, they can just block with 10 rabbits. You know, after a certain point, if you just ran out of ways to deal with it. I'm not about to play Goblin Chain Whirler, so this just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's a miserable experience. I mean, you get to play cool things for a little, and then you fizzle out and die. So if you like to do that, there you go. I can't recommend this. I'm sure there are mono-red aggro decks that kind of work. I don't really know. I'd have to look more at the aggro ones. The new Hazoret seems to have a little success, but I never play against aggro when I'm playing Historic Brawl. And when I do, it does not look like this. It's like Enum Pakal, maybe Arabella, whatever. It's just never this thing. This is a relic of the past. It's a cool card maybe in your deck as like this top deck, haha. But still, 4 mana deal 5? There are a lot of cards that are just better than that. There's a lot of cards that are actually just better than that, so I would not expect a lot from playing this deck. And Nykthos didn't really do anything. It's not really a surprise. Probably a mistake. Just Mountain was the right idea there. But alright, that's it. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching and also hearing me cry for 2 hours, because man, was this miserable. I did my best, alright? It's not the same as Davriel. When it comes to Davriel, I can tolerate the painful snooze fest loss. But with this thing, I already don't like aggro. Getting stonewalled with an aggro deck. Oh man, I'm going to send the snooze emote quite often. But it's not my opponent's fault, alright? I'm snoozing myself. I seasoned myself in the end. Alright, get out of here.